Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is YENY RAHMAWATI. I'm from English Department Postgraduate Program IAIN SALATIGA. In this special event of International Conference on Islam, Law and Society, or Incoils 13 2021, I will present my paper entitled Speech Acts of Teachers' Utterance in English Classrooms Interactions. The purpose of this research, first, to investigate the type of speech acts which is produced by an English teacher in classroom interaction during the teaching-learning process. Second, to find what types of speech acts are mostly used by an English teacher. Introduction. The communicative process happened between teachers and students in the form of interactions in classroom. It should be understood well by the students. The teacher gives information and shares knowledge by communicating with students through language. In communication during the teaching-learning process, teachers and students produce many utterances in the form of speech act in class interaction. The teacher produces the utterances to make the lesson running well. When teachers use improper speech acts in classroom interactions, it brings on a misinterpretation of meaning. An utterance that is said by the teachers may have different interpretations for students. The teachers should be more communicated in producing their utterances in order to make the students become more active and focused in learning, so that the teaching and learning process become more effective and successful. What is speech act? Speech act is a branch of pragmatics which studies dealing with the act through an utterance. It denotes that the teacher asks the students to do something as a result of what he or she has uttered. The teacher must see the students toward whom he is directing his speech. They must have the same background information as the speaker in order to understand the teacher's intention. Speech act classification. There are two philosophers who explain this theory about speech act. First, the theory of speech act found by J.L. Austin and then developed by J.R. Shirley. J.L. Austin divided the speech acts into three types. First, locutionary acts, and then second, illocutionary acts, and the third, perlocutionary acts. J.R. Shirley divided the speech act classification into five. First, representatives or assertive, and then directives, and then commissive, and then expressive, and then declaratives. Discussion. In this research, I used the qualitative research method. And then the subject of this research is an English teacher in SMN for Salatiga. And then data collection techniques by recording teachers' utterances during teaching-learning process in classroom interaction. And then data analysis techniques by using Shirley's speech acts classification. Research findings. Here, the teacher produced directive speech acts 45.35% and the representative speech act 26.75%, and then expressive speech acts 10.47%, and then declaration speech act 15.11%, and the last is commissive speech act 2.32%. Conclusion. The study was carried out to investigate the types of speech acts used by English teachers in classroom interactions during the teaching and learning process, as well as to determine which types of speech acts are most commonly used by an English teacher. The teacher produced 5 setlist speech act classifications based on analysis of the teacher's utterances in classroom interaction: representative, directives, expressive, commissives, and declaratives were among them. Teachers used directive speech acts the most, accounting for 39 utterances in the form of asking, commanding, and inviting. The classification of representative speech acts came in second among the other types. It was used in 23 all of utterances. It consists of concluding, claiming, suggesting, assuming, confirming, explaining, informing, stating, and predicting. It was then followed by non-expressive speech act utterances. Teacher produced thanking, apologizing, expressing anger, leave-taking, breathing in this category. And then furthermore, the teacher produced declaration speech act in 13 utterances in the form of naming and declaring. And then the last is commissive speech act. The teacher used only 2 utterances. The English teacher is expected to improve the ability related to speech acts in order to use speech acts correctly, and also should practice it well. It is in order to create a classroom communication that runs effectively, so there is no misunderstanding in interpreting the teacher's intended message in classroom interactions. Thanks. And I think now for my presentation, and see you next time.